Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the GPP Core, Awesemo.com, sponsored by Jock Market. I'm going to build 3 FanDuel lineups using data from our Boom Bust tool and NFL Top Stacks. So, start off with the chalk lineup. Let's do a Mahomes stack. This Dallas Kansas City game has a ridiculous total of 56. So I think a reasonable expectation is some fireworks. And this has 2 of the top receivers in the game, Tyreek and Travis Kelce. So probably only want one of the 2 because if we have both, I mean, it's going to be tough to really come up with a lineup that is different than the other Chief stacks. Among the other receivers, there's not really anyone that I like, though. So Darrell Williams could be an option. Right now, we don't really know what the status of Clyde Edwards-Helaire is, but I think regardless, Darrell Williams will probably get the workhorse role if he starts this week. Although we'll have to keep an eye out for news there. On the Dallas side, I probably want to run this back because we're doing a shootout kind of game script here. And Dalton Schultz with no Blake Jarwin has kind of seen more routes, and I need a tight end, so that one seems good at low ownership. All right, let's do a running back. Spent up on stacks, so I need to spend down a little bit. Myles Gaskin is 6,200. He's in a great matchup versus the Jets, so I think that he's a little bit underpriced this week. Wide receiver, Renfro has been pretty fantastic in the recent weeks, so I don't mind getting him. He's a little bit popular. Jarvis Landry actually looks like he's higher leverage, so maybe I'd want to go with Landry between the 2 of them or just go with both. So let's put a defense in, then we'll know how much money we're working with. The Panthers defense going up against the Washington football team should be a solid play. And then I got 8,200 left. Looks like there's no one on this list right in that price point, but let's just double check real quick. Justin Jefferson, 7,900. I'm not getting good contrarian or value scores here with the lineup builder, so I'm going to need to make some pivots. AJ Dillon, great play this week, so I'll throw him in there. And instead of Renfro, maybe I need to go to AJ Brown. It's only 7,200, and with no Julio or Derrick Henry, I think that the potential here for AJ Brown, even versus an easy matchup versus the Texans, should be pretty high. So I kind of knew this lineup wasn't going to be very contrarian when I started off with Mahomes, so I'm perfectly okay with not having a good contrarian ranking. All right, Derek Carr is my value option. Vegas has been pretty effective throwing, and they're about neutral this year, run pass. So that's interesting. Renfro and Waller is probably the chalk way to combine the players, but then I'm going to be competing with a lot of people with that combo. So probably want one of the 2. Let's go with Waller, and then I could consider throwing in Bryan Edwards. He's very low owned. And a little bit of a boom bust play. Not a great projection, but to get a little bit different, I think it's a valid way to build. I prefer to run it back with a wide receiver rather than a running back, just because Joe Mixon getting a ton of carries probably isn't great for the passing production of the Raiders. So let's throw in Jamar Chase. I mean, it's spend up options this week, but fantastic player. Now I need some value. Let's go to David Montgomery. He's got this full workload back from Khalil Herbert. And the matchup versus Baltimore is not great, but he's cheap for the number of touches. Let's go to AJ Dillon. I just feel like the price is too good this week, given that Aaron Jones is out at defense. Let's go to Titans. Tyrod Taylor is not horrible, but they're huge jogs. You tend to get the defensive touchdowns towards the end of the game when the team's desperate. So, all right, I need a wide receiver. How about I can go with Devonta Adams? Spend up option. I mean, terrific player. I don't know if I want to have him in an AJ Dillon lineup though. So let's go to Debo. He's been having a great year and seems like a little bit lower owned compared to our percentage chance that he lands in the optimal lineup. Now I just need a tight end for 5,200. I can either go to Zach Ertz as kind of a chalk option or Cole Kmet as contrarian. All right, so if I put in Ertz to get under 10% contrarian ranking, that's only 3% owned, so still under 10%. Looking at this lineup, it does seem like it's quite chalky, so maybe I need to get one of these sleeper plays. Devonta Smith is one, so let's go to Devonta Smith. The passing volume is a big question mark for the Eagles, but that definitely could pay off. And now I got the money to spend up at running back. Let's try Chubb. So this one, I got a good contrarian ranking, but the value ranking dropped a lot when I made some tweaks there. So this one, I probably want to make a couple pivots to get these rankings up. All right, lineup 3, Jalen Hurts. They haven't run the ball much, or they haven't passed the ball much in recent weeks, but if they get in a spot where they're down versus New Orleans, that could easily change. And he's a guy that I feel like you only really need to stack one guy up with, but there's two options, Goddard and Devonta Smith. Let's go with Devonta Smith because there's some tight ends I want to play this week. And I'm hoping that the Saints put up a good amount of production. However, we don't really know if Kamara is going to play at this point, so it's a little bit tough to game stack. But if he's out, then Mark Ingram's good. If he's in, you can play Kamara in this lineup. Let's go to Dalvin Cook, one of the top fantasy players. Matchup isn't positive, but the ownership should incorporate that. And let's go to a value running back in Gaskin. Match versus Jets. Really good. I want to get Landry in. He's just got a big gap between the ownership and the chance of landing in the optimal. The one question is how much Cleveland's going to throw versus Detroit as a big favorite. So we got to get a little bit lucky in that department. So I guess I could throw in a Lion, hoping that they do some damage. So let's throw in DeAndre Swift. I don't think you need to correlate with many stacks like that, but it can't hurt. All right, and then defense. Let's go a little bit contrarian with this one. Let's go with I can't go with the Saints. That's against my stack. Let's go with the Chiefs. No one wants to play the defense in a 56-point game, but the price versus the value is very good. So I think it's worth taking a risk there. Between Kelsey, Waller, and Kittle, I think they're all very fine plays. I'm just going to pick one of them, and then we can kind of pivot if the salaries don't work out. But this is working out perfectly to get AJ Brown. Contrarian ranking 50%, value ranking over 90. So this is a very good lineup. And I want to mention Jock Market. They allow you to invest in these players in a totally different fantasy game. So, for instance, AJ Brown, if he gets the number one number of points on the slate, if you have a share of him on Jock Market, you get $25. And if you can invest in him for under $6 on Jock Market, we're projecting that to be a positive value. So it's kind of a cool way to get some more skin in the game in a totally different format. You can use the promo code Awesemo for $50 free on Jock Market. All right, guys, what do you think of these lineups and the slate as a whole? I think FanDuel is pretty interesting this week. I hope this gave you guys some ideas for lineups, and good luck.